All right, Suzanne Jabour, our essence. What comes up for you when you think about our essence?
I was talking about this with a group of people the other day, and we were talking about how right now we're so sort of in our worst version of sort of tribalism,
Yeah, right.
and we were talking about how like fundamentally the core of us, the essence of us, is the same, but we're being distracted by all of the surface differences, all of the tiny differences, all the big differences, however you perceive those differences, because some of us see them as inconsequential and some of us see them as really important and critical,
Yeah.
but they're really not. The truth is that at our essence, at our core, and whether you call that the soul or the spirit or the part that makes you you or
Intuition,
whatever,
gut, your
whatever.
aura, your energy. It's
Yeah,
all
all of that, same,
the whole
same.
package.
It's all the same. It's all the same. We just want the best for ourselves and our families. We want to be accepted. We want to be understood. We want to feel safe. Our basic human needs are universal.
Yeah.
And that essence, that core of us, is really the part that also is the place that we can connect from.
Yeah. And when we do that for others, we're being humane. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
You know,
Yeah.
we
So
talk
we're
about the
definitely.
humane treatment of animals, but we're losing track of the humane treatment of each other somehow.
Whoa. Yeah. That's an understatement.
It is.
Uh,
And it's hard
yeah,
to watch. It's hard to be part of.
it is.
It's hard to know what to do. And I think, the conversation that I was in where we were talking about this idea of the essence, we were talking about how we spread love. How do we spread love in this time of conflict and pain and sorrow and fear and all the things? And really the kernel of it is if we can understand that, my essence can love your essence, that kind of can help us to take all the external or maybe the what feels scary or harmful or divisive. It helps us take some of that away. Because if I'm just worried about how my essence can connect with your essence, we can do that. That doesn't mean I'm going to like you or support you or think you're amazing or, stand beside you in a protest because we might be on opposite sides of that. But at the core, I can know that you are worthy, that you're lovable, that you are the same as me, just having a very different human experience.
Yeah. And you're perfect at your core, like your soul,
Yeah.
whatever, our essence. Yeah. There is perfection there. Yeah. And just if presenting yourself as a lovable person isn't like actions, it's
No.
loving yourself. It's an essence, it's an energy that people are drawn to and will shift from. Because when you change your energy, it's like dominoes, man. They can't help but change. And I
Yeah.
just saw a thing with protests. It's like, if the thugs come in, to start destroying things, and you're trying to do a peaceful protest, every other person sit down and
Mhm.
every person who's standing just stands still and they'll be
Yeah.
able to see who's trashing things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, that is brilliant. And it's too bad that didn't happen in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I'm from, and my mom is still there. And oof, yeah, it was crazy. And if that had happened,
Mm.
that would have been perfect
Yeah.
with all the riots that went on. Yeah,
Yeah.
with all the
And I love what
looting.
you're saying about lovable not being like an action. Like it's not performative.
Yeah,
It's just who we are.
it
It's
is. It
all
just
the
is.
other stuff that's performative, right? It's all of the ways that we're acting out all of our woundedness that's performative. Because the
Yeah,
core of us doesn't need us to be yelling about it from the rooftops or like proclaiming it through a megaphone.
right.
It just is who we are in our most quiet and powerful and centered place.
Yeah,
That's what we're about. That's who we are.
I love it. And we are worthy. We are all worthy, like you mentioned that word before, and just
Yeah.
holding space for someone's worthiness. And there's something in the I remember like Bible about if, and I know there's a famous quote too, like if there's one person in Vine, this is a concept in general,
Mm.
if there's one person in jail, then I'm a prisoner too. Or if there's
Yeah.
one person, it's just like no one's better than the other. And okay, so this person just murdered somebody. Okay, well, when have I murdered in my life, right?
Mhm.
So there are different scenarios in everybody's life where they've literally murdered or whatever, or had an intent that might as well have been, murder. So it's just
Yeah.
really interesting, and that puts us back on a little more even plane. I had somebody say that basically it was talking about a homeless person on the street, and
Mm.
he called him a ungrateful. Like, what?
Ugh.
Like, especially in this day and age, is like, what?
Yeah.
And yeah, and I was just so like shocked, right? So
Yeah. But that is fear, right? Because if we are scared that that might be us,
well, yeah,
then
that
we have to
happens.
distance ourselves from it and we have to
Yeah.
make it look like it's that person's fault.
Yeah. Like with divorce, I'm in my second marriage and so is my husband. And when you get divorced, couples really freak out,
Yeah.
because like, oh my God, I didn't think that could ever happen to them. Oh, if that could happen to them, it could happen to me. And so like you can lose like friendships
Hmm.
again through fear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.